स्टडी में भी टाइम क्या है क्वेश्चन क्या रहते हैं हां क्या बुक सब्जी होती है क्या फायदा तेरा क्या फायदा अरे मेरे को तो भाई नाम तो पता है क्या पता है देखो ठीक है पेंडा पेंडा अरे हम लोग स्टॉल लेंगे इसको बोलते हैं हम लोग को स्टॉल दो ये 25 कुछ एग्जांपल दिखाते हैं वो आगे वाले बता किसी ने ग्रैब किया है पर मेरा क्या है हां जिसका भी मतलब कहीं तो मेरा नहीं है इसको कीवर्ड को बैकग्राउंड कहां पर है तो बैकग्राउंड का किसने तो मैंने काम किया नहीं तो नहीं चाहिए और बिना उसके क्या अरे स्कूटी को करना पड़ेगा तो और दूध लेके आ गया अरे यार आदत मत पहले फॉर्म से अरे
Thank you. लेकिन यहाँ पे मैं अपने चॉइस पे बैठा
Okay, everyone. Avi hai. Very good morning to everyone. Sit down. What is that? No, is that fine? We are busy with that paper, with the syllabus. But I've told you guys' names to my other batch. That these guys have told me. So even they are interested to watch it. Yeah, but they know it. What is it? Very interesting. But I say very dogmatic. Sir. Now I'll wait for next 5 minutes, and those who are continuously talking without the books, they will be with the books outside. Waiting for the 5 minutes. Let me see how many are. Where I was. The chapter bowl. Familiar.
Finished with Queen Victoria's proclamation.
Correct. Yeah, I'll be going. You person. क्या also gone active better in the class. You're the same old person. You. Yeah. Then I remember in some batches I had already even finished up this and started up with the next very important chapter. Correct. So what I'm trying to do, I'll explain fully. You are expected to quickly jot down 2 lines for each heading. Only 2 lines. So that my lecture doesn't go up. So I have completed economic causes.
Yes.
Did we do military causes?
Yes.
Then did we do immediate causes?
Yes.
Then write the heading consequences. What else? We start.
Queen Victoria proclamation is done.
Then end of Mughals, princely state, divide and rule. Today we can finish and we'll start the new chapter also. The second chapter. Good one. Hey, now you keep put heading. I'm going to explain and very quickly jot down. Let me see how quick you are. Explain everything, but nothing you will write. I know that. Queen Victoria's we have done. End of Mughals, Peshwas, princely state, and divide and rule. Come on, let me see how many are writing 2 lines of each. 3 headings. क्या करना है? वो कौन है? वो क्या करना है? उसका सैंड भी नहीं रहेगा, स्क्रूज भी नहीं रहेगा. कौन है वो? You are writing points in your notebook. I don't know the number of the points. I'm just putting it is end of Mughals and Peshwas. Mughals and Peshwas. That is first point. The next it is princely states. हाँ, और हम लोग सोते रहेंगे. और हम लोग सोते रहेंगे वो पत्र चलते. तू चुप रहे, मैं भी आ रहा हूँ. चुप रहे. But the language they speak. What has happened to the future feminism of the world? I don't know. And we guys will be running away from all because of you only. Okay, these many points we will be doing quickly with your cooperation and my support.
Yes, sir.
Release is like a roulette. My roulette is again. Without your cooperation, nothing will move here. Changes in army, I will give because I know that's the real. But ये किससे लिए मैंने? Yeah, I had seen some doubt-solving sessions are already appearing. Did your geography ma'am didn't say? It has come to our group very quickly by this Sunday, I think. So you will not be away from any doubts like this boy keeps asking me. So you can frequently meet us in the doubt-solving sessions. वो भी मैं बताता हूँ second lecture में याद दिलाना. And UP organizes beautifully online. These 9th standard people know because they met me in that 9th standard DS, and then we'll have PTM. PTM तो थोड़ा late आएगा, but DS जल्दी आएगा. Go and get the office rubber band now. Huh? She's showing to me. Come on, come on. No more nuisance today. Quick, quick. Right? Let me have it. Give you the pen. That's it. Now, please. It's like very good. Only that headings you have to write it in a notebook. I'm going to explain one by one. Mughals, Peshwas, princely states, divide and rule. Heading and explanations. What is your good AC class? Heading here. You carry on writing. Antagonism. Antagonism. And Peshwas.
So we want to foreign policy.
Foreign policy, leave it. If you want, I'll give it to you.
Yes.
Your understanding is more better than me. I worked in many places. Besides the field of education.
The bed house thing is happening.
Hey, look at even in my absence, some children are learning history. It's a real mark of a great respect for me. Avni has written certain points yesterday only from the home, and she showed to me today. I really like it. Maybe some chocolates might get into her. Because I want people to not forget me, means not forgetting history and good. Geography I used to teach. I may also. I don't know. Yeah. Your wish, my command.
Yes, sir.
My Lord, the mercy. ये कौन है अभी 4 लेक्चर में क्यों सेंड किया?
पूरे भी किए हैं.
I have many a times told do not sign the 4th lecture. I don't know which girl went away on that day. Someone told me by signing and. I'm not a girl. Shall we finish writing? Right. Anyone while writing, why their discussion? Hindu Muslim unity was again targeted. Even naya लिखो है. My child, what is she was saying? It's okay. She got the license. Since it is online doubt solving, there will be a link, or I think your madam will guide you. You have to hit the link, book the teacher, and book the slot. Huh? Even I am not sure. They want to reduce the price. So you have to book it, I think, before 24 hours, the concerned teacher and the concerned doubts. Then we will get it. कि मेरा batch के लिए इतना बच्चों ने book किया. And one more thing, you can book the entire SST for one teacher also, no issues. So you can go to Rakhi madam for history doubts also. An option. So no mercy on me.
No, sir.
That's very sad.
Yes, sir.
Good. Abhi, आगे वाला लिखो. I knew it. This is going to happen. No, carry on. Copy paste चलिए. Now you stop writing. Let us understand this point. I think this point somebody asked me, correct? So if I want to tell you Mughals and Peshwas, after the death of Bahadur Shah, no one was respected. Then here it is Baji Rao the second. And then here princely states, Queen Victoria trying to promise to all the kings will maintain a cordial relation. We will not step in with a small note. What is that note will be? Doctrine of life or subsidiary alliance. Next I say the word policy. He asked me divide and rule. Earlier the Hindu and the Muslims as well as certain other princely states were kept apart. But we will not bring it to this. And here I want people to help me. Racial antagonism. Always Britishers call themselves as a racial superiority. Like if I tell this Nazi Hitler he called himself to be a Nordic Aryan. He used to have the view that Nordics are born to rule the world. फिर हमारे ऊपर फिर ब्रिटिश लोग ने 200 साल रूल किया. In fact, he was of the view that he was ready to support India to fight against the British. But he was so engrossed in this work in Germany, when Subhash Chandra Bose went to meet him, he just gave his one of his submarine to escape from there to back to Singapore, where he just. But no, he didn't die. No. So I always saying this racial antagonism, you create a sense of hatred against the British. Why? Because they are treating you racially inferior. They are showing you that you are nothing in front of the British administration. They are saying that Indians are to be given training for the next so many years. So that is what they will stop it. And then religious causes, whatever you remember Sati, yes. Then what else I said, widow remarried, British Parliament promised them we will not make such steps which will not be liked by so many people in India. Is it okay? Yes. Now read both the point and tell me, still you want me to explain antagonism and try to make the sentences of your own. That will be. Okay. तुमको समझा? हाँ बोलो. हाँ उसको समझा. ये देख. यार आप है ना आधा फीस उसको दे दो. उसमें ड्रम्स खरीदेगी एंड देन शी विल. And quickly do it so that I can be a little bit quick. I can explain more and some lovely videos related to the freedom movement in India. Shall I not separate both of you to the right and left? The next 15 minutes you will be facing your friends. Yes, sir. ट्रैफिक एक बार निर्णय में ही मुझे पकड़ा था. He took my license and everything रख ले मुझे बाइक पे. Anyone finish writing? Why this girl is always attacked? ये बेचारी क्या कर? वो इसके पास क्या? ऐसा कुछ नहीं. तुमने उसको पिन किया रहेगा. हाँ बोल. Your batch has anything. Your handwriting has to be improved.
Sir,
wait, I'm coming. A little bit openly. You add some sprays and other things on That's not expected.
Sir, is this correct?
जल्दी जल्दी छाप रहे.
Writing is very hard.
Good, yes. He wants the indirect comment from me.
Yes, sir.
लड़कियां खाना बनाने के बाद बोलते हैं बहुत अच्छा ही नहीं बना. मैं बोला हाँ मैं भी वही बोलने वाला. चलेगा. Good. I like it. He doesn't use a cursor. That is the best advantage of his handwriting. Okay, shall we move ahead? और एक last 2 minutes. समझा उसको? Hey, you know there is a Shivamani fellow. You don't know. How many have seen this A. Rahman concert live anytime? There's one Bal A. Rahman. I met him in Sri Lanka. That fellow. Shivamani. अरे वो हिंदी में भी बहुत बार इधर आया था DY में. And is one of the best drummer India could have it. वो घर का एक प्लेट भी नहीं छोड़ता सारा दिन और बकेट में पानी you should meet him once. All fellows का वाइफ के साथ आया था मैम शिवमन जुकान को मतलब वैसे भी नहीं but he is very award winner. इंडिया में नहीं in foreign also he does all that work. देखो the British policy of racial antagonism as written by Arthur contains
Continue the British continue.
ब्रिटिश का बी में क्या प्रॉब्लम है और आर उसके साथ जोड़ दिया व्हाट काइंड ऑफ ठीक है गुड बट हैंडराइटिंग नीड्स टू बी इम्प्रूव्ड so I'm planning to explain come on quick लिख दिया everyone भूमिका also भूमिका ना and इसका नाम क्या बोला तूने हाँ भूमि राज ओए इसका बेटर ऑफ और कॉम्पिट भूमि राज Moraj. I'm just moving ahead. Let us look into the next point. Wait. Changes in army, I want you to be understanding perfectly. Now look at the first para. The strength of the European troops was increased.
Yes.
Could anybody tell me why?
Sir, because the mutiny occurred, soldier mutiny occurred.
बोलना क्या चाहते हैं ये
Indian soldiers
इसी
were
का है
revolting against the military. That's why they had to.
Okay, I'll tell what my friend wants to convince to me. It's so simple to tell you the number of Indians in the army earlier was high.
Yes.
Means what? 1:5. One foreign soldier and 5 Indian soldiers. Now they are cut-shorting it. And one more point will come where Indians are not given any modern weapon training. And they were not given the keys also. Because anytime they will loot away. Which the Britishers had a huge suspicion. Now every Indian soldier reporting to a British commanding officer, British commanding, was looked at with great suspicion. Why? The revolt has infused in them a great sense of fear. Although he might take his hand to salute, but in an anger mood, the British might be taking, क्या करने जा रहे हैं? मैं only salute कर रहा हूँ. Something like that. So it might be the greatest igniter of the war. Who was he? Mangal Pandey. So here they are trying to show you every step. How did British is taking to keep Indians in army to the minimum. Okay. Second point. The principle adopted was should not exceed, underline, twice that of the European. European kept key geographical and military position. Important position was not given to them. Who? To the Indians. Earlier policy of excluding officers, corps were strictly maintaining. What is strictly? Earlier, whatever corps or whatever regiment given to an Indian, it was not given. And now there will be one line that Indians could go ahead up till the range of Subedar only. You know what is a Subedar? An important officer. Uske aage Indians ko allowed nahi tha. Sorry to say, even today in the Indian army, there are certain posts who are not given to non-Hindu people. And they discuss the war program. They respectfully ask the fellow to keep out of the room. And then only they discuss. ये तो आर्मी का बात हो गया. I don't know which jewelry community in Rajasthan. Even today, when they make the jeweler designs, the ladies will not be allowed to get inside the room. So they have so much confidence that they will spread the next morning only. Something like that. Then Indian artillery units, underlined, except few mountain units were disbanded. What is disband? You read cancelled. Next, discrimination on the recruitment was introduced. Organization of army based on, underlined, balance and counterpoise, divide and rule to prevent anti-British uprising. मतलब अभी recruitment they started giving more importance to the more than the क्या बोलते हैं certificate rather than the merit now. Then in order to discourage nationalism, caste and community were introduced in the regiments. Underline that also. Even now we have Indian army, we like Maratha regiment, correct? Nepal regiment. What does it mean? Just to compete with each regiment. अभी Maratha regiment में भी सरदार soldiers fight करता है. ऐसा नहीं कि Maratha regiment में पूरा Maratha ही रहेगा. just to make a unit. Like in your schools, you might be having 4 houses, na? Something like that. Each house want to compete. But here, they wanted to introduce which policy? Somebody asked me, divide and rule. Make the Indian people divide in the name of the religion. Then look at the last one, newspaper, journals, and underline that, never reach the soldiers. Itna hi likhne ka. Shall I give it or will you write on your own? Come on now. Please, very important. Changes in army. In fact, Icse headings को जरा detail में लिखो. I'm ready to help you if you want. और बड़ा करके she's asking point number 1, the strength of the European troops. एक काम करो ना, changes in army डालो, introduction भी और first point मैं दे दूँ. Right off. Soon after Queen's proclamation. Soon after Queen's proclamation, deliberate. Soon after Queen's proclamation, deliberate efforts were taken. Soon after Queen's proclamation, deliberate efforts were taken to reorganize. And to restructure. Careful with the words, huh? And to restructure the army as under. Reorganize and restructure the army as under. Matlab, I am writing the points. How it was done. Point number 1. The number of European soldiers. The number of European soldiers to that of Indian. No need to write even soldiers also. Correct? Were number of European soldiers to that of Indian were restructured. And now you write any 2 examples as per you. है ना? 2 example लिख लो. What is that? Bengal army लिख सकते 1:2, Madras army लिखता 2:5, something like that. Next point. It also made it mandatory or compulsory. It also made it mandatory that the number of Indian soldiers should not exceed twice the number of Europeans. Should not exceed twice the number of Europeans. Semicolon, same point. Europeans. यार आप लिखते समय दिमाग को क्या घर पे रख के इधर आके लिखता है? Same words as number of Europeans. I'm trying to fix 3 points into one line. Sophisticated. So that is the word they have used. Correct. Good one. Also, European troops. Thank you. Were stationed in key military position, important position, key military position and geographical front, front, मतलब Indians को तो नहीं भेज सकते, along with key military position and geographical front, along with complete banning of all India artillery units. You understand artillery? Weapon training. Complete ban on all India artillery units. All India artillery units. और 2 पॉइंट लिखो, एक ही पॉइंट लिखो, खत्म हो जाएगा पूरा हेडिंग. In the field of recruitment, caste religion, in the field of recruitment, caste religion discrimination was followed. In the field of recruitment, caste religion was followed. Thank you. I also fumble and tumble. Change the para. Hence were followed. मैं बोल रहा हूँ newspaper. वही बोल रहा हूँ. Where I am running away. Hence, every possible step to keep the Indian army men, every possible step was taken to keep Indian army men away from the then nationalistic movements. वो सब नहीं है उधर. The then nationalistic movement through newspapers and journals. समझ में आया? उसी को मैंने थोड़ा बटर मलाई लगा. Through the newspapers and journals. That's it. Economic exploitation. Come on, you only finishing it off. And rise of nationalism. I think again I'll explain, and then this chapter is done. Thanks for your support. I will start the new chapter. Okay, did I start since? Shall we go into the second? No,
Yes, sir.
we will start with I know. कौन? क्या है? वो वर्ल्ड वार के लिए टाइम है अभी. अरे कल ही तो पुतिन का मैसेज आया, वो बेचारा थक चुका है. नहीं है, वो सब यूरोपियन मीडिया कुछ भी झूठ बोलता है और बोलते थे he was suffering from cancer. That is also wrong. मैं खुद भी बोला, अरे वो तो आता कटा, he is a black belt judo champion.
Was also spied.
हाँ, what's that one? इनका वो भी भूल गया मैं.
Like president the 90s.
मिशेल गर्बाचोव.
उसको post prime minister बना.
तो he was उनका वो spy.
वो ट्रम्प था.
अच्छा. अरे बाबा, तूने इतना डिटेल्स कहाँ से कर लिया? रानी का ग्लास में मैंने डाला. हाँ, जल्दी से वो इंग्लिश पढ़ती है. जाके बार-बार उसको भूल गए. Come on quickly, finish it off. कितना पॉइंट लिख सकते हैं? कौन है कितना पॉइंट? Quickly finish it. That's my good.
Sir, you are named as a transporting government of India from the company translation government of India at 4780. It was not published by Lord Canning first November 1980.
लो ना, act was passed. वो तो बाहर ट्रैवल करके इंडिया आया ना.
लेकिन उसके बाद उसने जब विक्टोरिया प्रोक्लेमेशन में उसके बाद ट्रांसफर
ठीक है, उसका डेट क्या था?
1 नवंबर 1858.
इसका सेकंड है.
2 अगस्त 1858 सर. और एग्जाम में पूछा तो बिकॉज़
देखो, if at all you find this is a mistake, take out your textbook. Always, if at all any minor mistakes you find in any books, always keep your textbook.
Sir, this was sent by the government of India on 1858. So date नहीं जैसे clear
तो आप अपने उसमें क्यों date पढ़? That is the best thing. Because I have to cross check and tell you. अभी क्या करेगा? Date से अगर confusion होगा ना, please remove the date.
Exam so 1 November.
Date will not रहेगा because it is textbook में रहना चाहिए ना. Every board paper is coming from the 100% based on textbook. While writing, understand and write. Don't blindly copy. Then rise of nationalism widening. Shall I explain? Very small only. Okay. I'll explain. Why, man? What happened? Nothing. With Suraj, correct? No? Stages. 12th commerce. Good. I should have seen him all online in that. अभी आएगा नहीं?
Sunday को
आएगा तो मैं से हाई करने को. मैं इधर रहता हूँ संडे को. इन लोगों का लेक्चर चालू रहता है तो 12:30 ना 12:30 से मैं इधर नहीं.
बोलते
बोलो सर ने बुलाया तो थे. आज से समय कुछ लेकर आए. और जाते समय लेके जाने की. ये बहुत कुछ होगी क्या? हाँ लिखो. अरे आएगा तो कुछ खाली है. और जाते समय मैं भी तो खाली हाथ नहीं गया. हजार साल चौकी से. In my lecture, you are sitting so sadly like this. No, seriously, I'm saying. तो मैंने कब बोला नहीं पढ़ो? Hey, anybody absent today? All. उसको पकड़ के लाती है. तुमसे भी वो बेस्ट फ्रेंड लगती है. She is missing you. है ना? So what is your name? Vaishnu. We have a madam in our HO. Her name मैंने बोलता because you look similar to her. Christian lady. Exact. बात करने का ढंग भी आपका उनसे मिलता है. I always take you. तुम्हारी मॉम घर पे, उसकी मॉम ऑफिस में है. देखो, he has written such beautiful points for economic exploitation within no time. I think most probably his own lines only. ये क्या करेगा? Salaries कर, no? Make it close. Good. Give me the pen. देखो, I can give good to him without any shy. Economic exploitation, many people tell me that it is difficult, sir. How do I do it? When he has written the most time, I can get good to economic student. But I need that. Economic student, economic exploitation का पाठ लगा दिया. He has written. So we need to do point one.
Salaries and allowances of the British governors and officers.
Falling matters are doing what है?
Governors and officers. Governors and officers.
Write down. I'm seeing only pen is in the air. Not so good. I can expect more from you. क्या रामधानी इसके बारे में सीखा है जंगल में जाएगा. अच्छा उसको लेके गए रावण. ये किसका हैंडराइटिंग के साथ इतना खिलवाड़. It's okay, but she has written in a hurried manner. Am I correct? जबकि ये देखो कितना टाइम और एनर्जी लेके लिखती है. ठीक है, इनपुटिंग. ऐसा मत लिखो. एक बार कर दो एग्जाम में. They will not give you marks for such. British trained the. Hey, when you are writing that British trained the wealth of India, you can you can write the name of the person and the name of the book. Economic Drain. Have you heard this book? Did I might have told this also. Who has written this
Drain
book?
of wealth.
Drain of Wealth or Economic Drain?
Banerjee.
No. It was Dadabhai Nauroji. Nice name. So, Drain of Wealth करके उन्होंने एक book लिखा था जिसमें ये पूरा economic drain लिखा है पूरा. So you read Economic Drain of India, Drain of Wealth. And he was considered to be the grand old man of India. Staying in London, he has written so many books. And then we have that committee of the organization. He was once a member of that also. मैम को बोलो ना
Sir, आप आ जाओ sir. Sir, that to climate and soil resources. Soil resources समझता है लेकिन
बट ये सब नेट से बोल के मैं मना कर रहा हूँ.
वो तू पढ़ा दे इससे समझ गया पूरा चैप्टर वो पढ़ेगा
एक महीने का चैप्टर एक लेक्चर में कर सकते हैं.
But these things they go. It is the department which takes the decision.
Climate chapter एक महीने
मेरे लेक्चर में भी आप लोग फिर सो लीन सर एकदम फ्रेश होते हैं ना. Minimum I give good to him. Even he has written so community. Hey, listen. Shall we get into the next chapter, or you want me to explain that last 2 points? You can put the heading. Only heading डाल के notebook बंद कर दो. बस. New chapter only. You put the heading and then you can close the notebook so that I'll explain fully. Then we'll go one by one. Okay. And now today's assignment. When I meet you guys next Monday here, all the questions of this worksheet. In fact, I make CBSE batch to solve them right in my presence. But since you're writing since my arrival, I won't make your hands pain more. So entire questions. How many questions are there? 8 questions are there. You have to write as an assignment. If not, stay out and write in my presence next week. Then put the next heading: growth of nationalism. ये मैं. What happened? अभी मैं स्टार्ट कर दिया. अच्छा नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में कर देता हूँ. अभी I'm going to start the new. I put everyone the heading. हाँ मेरा हैंडराइटिंग है. Some people of my earlier batches they try to copy my small initial. अभी तक वो copy चालू है लोग. Hey, write down this heading, then keep your notebooks closed, except your ear, mind, and eyes. बाकी सब बंद कर. So that I can explain this chapter thoroughly well. Everyone ready?
Yes, sir.
पहले बंद कर दो. Date डाल दो आज का 15, 16. We are in 16, but my look how the days are really galloping now. Okay. Now the first thing that I need complete silence. That's what I am asking you to do. Foundation of INC. Now when we move away from chapter 1 and get into chapter 2, it's so simple to tell you that Indian freedom movement under so many social reformers, Indian freedom movement under the great body called INC, got the impetus. What is the meaning of that impetus? The great push or great pull from many leaders in India. One of the most important leader comes all the way from Africa back to India. That was Mahatma Gandhi. But before to Mahatma Gandhi, we have to study what is this INC, how was it established, and why was it established by a person called Alan Octavian Hugh. Now you have to understand the background first. Now Indian people are little bit educated, or we call a separate group called middle class educated youth. Am I using the right word? Can I put you guys into that youth category? Pakka.
Yes.
So if you feel any injustice on the name of Indian Front, will you write letters? Then फिर कौन सा youth हुआ? Means now Indians started writing petitions. You know what are petitions? ये petition culture आया कैसे? And why did it start? And why a British person starting a party which in future is going to make India liberate from the clutches of whom? From the British. Now since educated, the Western thinkers, the French Revolution, the Russian, or so many other things were there in the people of the minds of people of the Indian minds, and now they started revolting against the British. Okay, in order to pacify you guys, now like geography, other things, I'll say keep writing letters, keep writing petitions. But ये petition का कुछ तो effect होना चाहिए. So British ने क्या बोला? There is continuous pressure growing in the minds of educated. Let us give them a vent. You know what is vent?
Yes.
Vent सुना है? So I always explain a pressure cooker that your mother might be using in a kitchen. Have you seen it?
Yes.
When the pressure builds up in the pressure cooker, the whistles that you see releases all the pressure. Now the 1857 was there in the minds of the British. And now the people of the country are becoming more and more learned. I can say people started writing even IAS and IPS exams. People got selected. Did I not say MG Ranade?
Yes,
Correct. There were so many other people I can keep saying they were trying to get into the government. Although they get selected, but they're not serving for the British. Means what? They just want to prove the point that we have the qualification, we have the intelligence, like you are greeting us that we have nothing in front of you. We are definitely showing you the great path. What is that great path? Now wait for one more revolution. The revolution which will be much bigger in, and you guys might be bundled up out of our country. So now there is a direction coming from the government of the British. So there was a retired British servant. He was an IAS officer only, retired fellow. He asked to form an organization which is called as the INC. Now what this organization will do, they will ask the Indian educated people to become the member of it. And we will write the letters, we will write the petitions. At least when the petition goes to the British Parliament, now we have Viceroy or the Governor General. The letters will be directly going to him, and Viceroy will promise the Indians that we are trying to take some necessary steps for it. Maybe 15 days, maybe 1 month. There is no steps. Now one more petition coming. Maybe after second or third petition, British government will come forward. We had set up a commission. You know what is the meaning of the word commission? A body of specialized people who will study the problem. The Bengal famine in those days was the most famous. Number of people died was there. And even there was a plague issue in the state of Gujarat. And I think Mr. Rand, Robert Rand was his name. He was shot dead by one of the revolutionary. Because people in Gujarat died in large numbers due to that plague related issue. But he didn't take any step. So ये सब इनके mind में था. So they wanted an organization which will form a small organization where you guys will come, sit, discuss, write petition and then go away. So this is on one side the program is going on. On the other side we have to study that many social reformers are there. And one among them was Raja Ram Mohan Roy. You remember him, the person who has banned the sati. I've already told him it was the Lord William Bentinck. And Raja Ram Mohan Roy's his own sister was a victim of this sati. Besides sati, all education related program, women emancipation program, removing the Indian people from the caste related system. Correct? Then we have Mahatma Phule, Jyotibai Phule, and there are many other. So if I tell you one simple line, Indians were divided not on the name of religion or caste, but on the name of superstitious beliefs. I say I am enlightening you. What does enlightenment means? Try to walk on the right path. You know which path is right and which path is wrong. And I'm the last person to advise you on that, at least now. But then these people were like a torch bearers. You know what are torch bearers? Showing the people on which path you have to walk so that we attain which word? The word called Swaraj. So if I explain the word Swaraj, for you and me today it is nothing. Because we have got everything and anything without fighting for it. But then these people might be maybe, or they might have shed their blood and tears. Then they got the small word called Swaraj. So in every part of the country, the reform movement took place. Reform movement for what? That we are saying it is growth of nationalism. So this time the nationalism should be so strong. This time the nationalism should be all sections. So the British do not escape out. Escape out for what? Giving our independence. So we'll start with some various programs of the INC, which I would have already told you. Gandhiji launched a big movement in the name of non-cooperation movement. Then we have civil disobedience movement. ये सब आएगा एक-एक करके. What is the difference between this and this? Here Gandhiji said non-payment of taxes. Correct? Any of the incident you remember? The most famous was the Dandi March that you might have heard. If I say here, Gandhiji openly wrote letters. Gandhiji openly wrote in many of the journals that do not cooperate with the which government? With the British government. And he openly criticized, saying if you cooperate with the government like this, you are directly cooperating with the devil. And he also wrote along with that, if you do not cooperate even for one day, it is very difficult for the British to run their administration, for which he introduced fourfold programs. I've started with the foundation. I very quickly come here. So I'm saying the fourfold programs of INC. Anybody? The first one was Swaraj. Second one, Swadeshi. Third one, boycott. And the fourth one, national education. Now, when these words were written first or understood, many people did not understand what Gandhiji wants to convince. The first one, he said, Swaraj, nobody can forget Lokpanya Tilak. What was his line in front of the British judge? Kuch bhi nahi suna. Oh, he's my Marathi pronunciation. Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it at any cost. In front of the British judge, it's very, very prestigious thing for you and me to today listen. But in those days, he required lots and lots of courage. So that is what we are explaining. If I say Swaraj, India should be ruled by Indians. And Gandhiji was of the view, do not attack them, do not kill them. It is what? Ahimsa, non-violence and Satyagraha. In fact, I only explained in the morning Satyagraha with a deep explanation. And people were listening so keenly. वो अभी आपके लिए नहीं है, आपका syllabus थोड़ा अलग है. But Gandhiji told only one thing. If you cut the branches will come again. What does it mean? If you kill one governor general or one viceroy, Parliament of London will send one more. So convince the British Parliament against the heinous crime done. So once if you shoot the roots, you know what in English we call it as solve the problem from grassroots level. What is grassroots level? Convince the British Queen, convince the Parliament that you are doing the most heinous part of the world. Automatically we will get, what is it? Swaraj. In fact, 2 roundtable conference you have it. The first roundtable conference where INC did not participate. Second roundtable conference, the INC participated, but both were not at all successful. Why? Because after both, Indian government did not get one single word, which I'm explaining. They got dominion status. You know what is dominion? Ultimate power will be in the hands of the British government. Only you are allowed to fight and win the election, which Indians again rejected. Ye clear hai? Yes. What is then Swadeshi? You start loving the people who produce the goods which are Indian goods only. You buy a British cloth which is very cheap in front of Khadi, then you are indirectly putting money in the hands of whom? The British. If you feel Indian handicrafts have come to a standstill, if you feel Indian economy has been demolished, now give them the dose that you need. Because I don't know how many have seen certain ads where there's vaccine. Na? Now the booster dose, very few people are of the view. But I don't know about what is the scene which is fanning out in India. Some of my distant and close people who are in Europe and some part of UK, they've got 4 doses. 2 booster dose and 2 regular and 2 booster. Again, one of my brother has been affected by COVID. मैंने बोला ऐसा क्या? And not the dose that you and me get. They get the best of the best dose from American government. They say क्या करेगा? Again this COVID has come back. मैंने बोला Indians have high immunity. You understand what immunity? Besides we have got a native made vaccine only. But अभी तक we are quite okay. अभी तक. So why I'm using that here? Now Indians need to be given the booster dose. Which booster dose? The dose of. Even in the first COVID only, the slogan from the present government, what was that? Vocal for local. What does it mean? Stop buying the goods which are coming from China. अभी तक तो मैंने परचेज ऑर्डर डाल दिया है, ना पीओ बोलते हैं हम लोग, एंड देन डिलीवरी आ गया है, उसको डीओ बोलता है। न्यू पीओ हम नहीं साइन करेगा, मतलब न्यू एग्रीमेंट विल नॉट साइन विद द गवर्नमेंट। So that is what the Gandhi and the other people are. Swadeshi. You feel proud to wear a shirt or a trouser which is made by an Indian. How come? So that the money that you spend goes directly to the Indian. If your money is going directly to the Indian and not to the British, automatically the British has to bundle out of our country. That is Swadeshi. Now boycott the schools which are run by the British administration. Boycott the awards given by the British government. Can you name any people?
So Rabindranath Tagore.
First person was the title given to him was the Sir, the greatest poet India could have, Rabindranath Tagore. And then we have the Naidu also, sorry. And then we have the Sarojini Naidu. She rejected the award called the Nightingale. I asked the same question to the other batch. If I return the award or the reward, do you think it is going to bring any influence? What influence?
Because like, the award is not small, like it's big in the national level.
Correct,
So
correct.
If they give it back, then it will affect
Very good. He caught the pulse, is it? अभी भी कुछ लोग हैं इंडिया में, sorry to say, I don't want to name the name, two great ladies of our country always staying in America and always writing rubbish about India. And Indian government उनको award भी दिया और वो लोग ने रिटर्न कर दिया, तो कुछ न्यूज चैनल में उनको बोलता है अवार्ड वापसी ज्ञान। You know, when you are taking an award, like you were saying, the title called the Sir, Indians में सिर्फ एक ही जन को मिला था, that was Rabindranath Tagore. And you might be knowing, you go to foreign, the teachers, the principals are not called as Sir. You can call them directly by the name. Unless until the government has not given me the title Sir, you are not allowed to call anybody Sir. That is it. प्रोफेसर भी बोलते नहीं, दे कॉल, अभी पहले तो मुझे लगा मैं इज्जत से बोलता था, अभी वो भी नहीं बोलते। उनका वो कल्चर ही है, वैसा है। So here if I say, when you got the award, you might be in the limelight. So many people might have covered, oh, this person has got award from the British government. When you're returning it, it is the biggest insult to the which government? So that is what. And somebody will ask, sir, aapne kyun diya title? Then they will say, the British doing injustice and so and so, so and so. Correct? So that is what that's boycott. Boycott. Then if I say national education, one thing I would love to say, that British run schools were many in India and majority were free of cost also. Why? They want to infuse the British thinking inside the Indian minds. And they have done it successfully. When a 3 or a 5-year-old person enters into a school which is run by a British school, they will have a big photograph of Queen and the boy or the girl has to salute. I mean, he or she doesn't know who is this old cunning lady. But then, itna मालूम है कि कोई तो बड़ा lady है. Correct? So this was a simple step. Now the government of India also says every schools in our country, whether it is Christian funded, Islamic funded, everyone must sing national anthem. I mean, national anthem, when you get into a theaters also the slogan comes. I feel, why the slogan coming, please stand up? Why we do not know? It is a basic thing that you and me have to understand. So ये सब क्या बोलेगा? When you get your education from where? From the Indian run schools. I will tell what was India before the arrival of British. I will tell who are the kings who have really made our Indian history glorious. I will tell India was how economically powerful. But do you think a British school बोलेगा? क्यों नहीं बोलेगा? they wanted cheap laborers in India. Who were the clerks? Who are the people who will clear all their files? So that's why they introduced which schools? British run school. उसका opposite हम लोग ने कौन सा school start करने का बात किया? National run school. So this is all about our NCM. Then if I want to discuss about CDM, the NCM was banned or cancelled by Gandhiji after an incident which we call it in our history textbook as Chauri Chaura incident. Any idea? When NCM was in full throttle, you understand throttle?
Yes.
Good. Yeah, full power. Suddenly one incident had happened. In UP, the British police have shot dead some people because they were agitating against the British. When this news came to the certain revolters, they set fire to a police station in UP, a small place called this. 22 policemen with one sub-inspector, I can say SI. You know SI? So altogether 23 policemen were killed. If you have to write it in the exam, please use a word. They set the police station, this word you have to write. So that? Died. No, Indians only. And ये SI शायद British रहेगा, we do not. Because उधर भी तो Indians लोग भी ज़्यादा काम करते थे. But when this news went to the Gandhiji's ears, he said the entire NCM should be ahimsa, peaceful. So he very quickly passed a session. Except Gandhi, nobody accepted because NCM was very successful, and every person of INC wanted this. But Gandhiji was stubborn. Why stubborn? Because the movement is becoming violent. But when he stopped this one, he very quickly gave a call to that I am going to launch one more movement which is more powerful than NCM. That is CDM. If I introduce CDM, there is one small paragraph they call towards CDM. How does Gandhiji slowly shift the attention of the people? Now he said not cooperating. Now he said don't pay the taxes. Purposely selected a commodity called salt. He could have selected any commodity. You check or you tell me why only salt?
Because salt was most common.
I use a commodity which is consumed only by the rich people. Will the movement be a success?
No.
Or India में उस time पे कितना percentage rich था? है ना? So he started walking all the way from Sabarmati Ashram to a place called Dandi. I don't know exact kilometers वो सब आएगा. Although initially the movement was very less number people. Wherever he went in, wherever he walked in, he had a big public rally, a meeting, a gathering. By the time he reached Dandi, the procession was very big. The gathering was very big. And I ask every time the student, how did he break the salt law? Any idea? On reach. He made salt.
So evaporated water.
But do you think ये सब leaders लोग कभी करता है बैठ के? He took one handful of salt and threw in front of the people saying, today onwards, not me, not any Indian, will pay tax on this commodity. Gandhi hai. When he used to keep a hunger strike in India, it's written in one of his books, the British Parliament in London will be shaking. Can we imagine you and me taking a fast today? Papa bolega, very good. Nahi kha raha? Good. वो खाना इधर लेकर. What does it mean? This was the power of a very ordinary man called Mahatma Gandhi. So then he starts his movement. Then he organizes one group within the INC called Ladies Wing, where they're asked to picket the, what do you call it, the liquor shops, the liquor bottles. And why only ladies? Because they will not be arrested. That was the view. But then initially they were arrested later. But generally this. Then we had bonfires. You know what are bonfires? Of which clothes? Foreign clothes we can say. Then Swadeshi make khadi and charka reach each and every house. In fact, मुझे ये branch में other branch में पूछा था, sir, how did this INC adopted the charka inside that tricolor flag? Initially, our tricolor was having Ashok Chakra not there. Only khadi and that particular machine was there. But once after the independence, they wanted Ashoka pillar. Dekha? Yes. And that four-headed line. It is four-headed, but in the currency only three-head. And Ashok Chakra replaced the Gandhiji's charka. So in fact, आप पुराना videos देखिएगा तो all the flag will have this charka only. So each and every Indian connected his life or her life towards what? The khadi manufacture. So this is how we start the movement. So there are different phases. अभी लोग ने अभी phase 1, phase 2 नहीं divide किया, but with the coming chapters we will have phase 1 the area, phase 2 the era, and phase 3. So 3 phase में हमको ये पूरा chapter करना है. Understood?
Yes.
Shall we get into the volume? No writing, only reading only. Will do? Ah, yes. Good, Alish, he told now. They'll sleep in the class. Pick up the volume pages only. What is the page number? Okay. So look here. Still, you don't need to stress yourself. I'll just show you from the volume only. Wait. Oh, sorry. Hey, look here. Economic exploitation, they have written. Repressive colonial policy. These are the factors leading to the growth of nationalism. Then contributions of Rajaram Mohan Roy. Did we speak about this reformer? Then we have Jyotiba Phule. That is in our own Maharashtra. Then we have role of the press. So I'm directly coming to a paragraph called Foundation of INC. That I'm going to touch first. ये बाकी बाद में करेंगे हम लोग. It is on page number where we are having.
27.
Please, everyone, come back to the. I will ask Atharva to read, and everyone keep a pencil ready with you. Please.
Foundation of Indian National Congress. Rajaram Mohan Roy was the pioneer of political movement in India. He demanded liberty of the press, appointment of Indians in civil courts and other high posts, codification of laws, etc.
Okay.
The first political association to be started in India was the Landholders Society in Kolkata in 1838. Many British public associations were started in different parts of India, like Bengal, British India Association, British India Society, British Indian Association, East Indian Association, London Indian Society, and Indian Association.
Look, how many associations are formed? Can anyone simply say what is the meaning of the association?
A group of people.
So can I call UT as an association?
Yes.
Yes.
Why? Oh, the difference between association and
same beliefs and thoughts and concerned with a singular goal in mind.
Same goal.
follow the same goal. Now, as he says, it's correct. It is an institution established by a person, management. Yeah. Carry on.
So,
These are
what is the difference between organization, association, and institution?
Like organization, a deliberate effort with a brand reach. Association, I can form a students association, teachers association, limited to my area only. And what is the last question? Institution, schools and colleges are the best example. Okay, I'll go ahead.
these associations served as a base for the formation of the Congress.
Only underline that word base. मतलब यहाँ से कांग्रेस birth हो रहा है. Carry on.
And all India political organizations. The most prominent among these associations were the following: Indian National Congress 1876. Association was meant to be.
देखो, before this AOU is establishing, उसके पहले INC was there, but it was not officially recognized by the British government. Correct? हाँ.
Association was meant to be an all India movement. It was headed by Surendranath Banerjee.
Underline, very important fellow. Banerjee.
The association had lawyers, professionals, and educated middle class as its members. This association had branches in Bengal as well as in the towns outside Bengal.
Okay, it's Bengal. What is a Bengal?
The objective of Indian association included creation of strong body of public opinion, integration of Indian people on the basis of common political interest, promotion of friendly relations between Hindus and Muslims, mass.
I can't go. Any of the point you want me to explain to save your energy and time also. Any of the point
Integration between people on the basis
on the basis of? I didn't hear.
common
Integration of Indian.
Now, what is this common politics? Anybody? Okay, even today, if one political party gives a call, do you think religion of all people go and join? No? ये तो हमारा इंडियन पॉलिटिकल पार्टी है ना.
Different interests.
Yes. So अभी समझा? So there, if I say INC is calling a seminar or a conference, 90% of the Hindus will be attending. There was a person called Dr. Abdul Kalam Azad. He was there. Then they had a person called Sir Syed Ahmed Khan, very popular fellow. He never attended any seminars, any conference, because British was infused in his mind. He started a university. Today also we have. What is that? Aligarh Muslim University. AMU suna hai?
Yes.
And we have JNU. What is JNU? So आप लोग भी अगर 12th के बाद अगर जाना है, it's a very popular and very polished college, university, sorry to say. अगर आपको मिल जाता है, उधर जाके politics मत करना, पढ़ाई करना ही JNU, हाँ. But because of there, I have heard there is a group of band of students who are 45 years and above. बट अभी भी अंदर ही घूमता रहता है, बोलता है कि मैंने अभी तक स्टडीज नहीं किया. भैया तू कौन सा साल में तू ज्वाइन हुआ, कब तो बाहर निकलेगा? 45 ईयर का बंदा बोलता है कि मैं अभी भी पढ़ रहा हूँ. All high level politics है. So now you understood?
Yes,
हाँ,
sir.
carry on.
Achievements in dance, agitations against oppressive acts such as License Act, Arms Act, and the Vernacular Press Act.
हाँ, if I tell you out of that vernacular press act, tick कर लो, very important.
Yes, so,
Carry on.
and against lowering the age limit of 21 to 19 years for the ISC exam.
What is ISC? Indian Civil Service. Purposely लोग ने age reduce किया.
Yes, sir.
If I tell you Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose was an IAS officer.
Yes, sir.
And he wrote the exam not in India, in London. देखो लोग ने कैसे कैसे steps रखा था, so that Indians do not get passed, but फिर भी Indians pass होते. So it's like, sorry, 1 minute. Huh? It's like so that our UT students every Sunday are grilled with the test. Now they are crying, mumbling, jumbling. I don't know what all you do. ठीक है, मुझे नहीं लिखना है, ये क्यों रखा है? And by the time you get your response, I don't know. This year, if we do not have other thing, Anubhav sir organized fantastically the prize distribution. 90% of our students get 100 out of 100 band score, CGPA, very good. And many students get the awards, rewards, and I think those 3 साल पहले मुझे याद है, they gave them some cash awards also. Check भी दिया है, है ना? कुछ 75,000 something like that. I should not. Photos भी रहेगा, आप देखो. What does it mean? Directly or indirectly, we are encouraging you to get the best marks that you are already getting. But we say we should be best of best. Correct? So that encouragement should be there in every person's mind. For what? Getting the fees written? No. Recognized by so many people in front of so many parents. मुझे याद है पहले विष्णुदास भावे करके एक है वाशी के उधर, हमारा पूरा यूटी का उधर होता था. अभी now we have it this one small merchant वाला कुछ तो है ना, ये नेहरू और सीव्स के बीच में इधर एक छोटा सा एक हॉल जैसा है. There only we have it. Before the COVID only. Before the COVID. I don't know this year. Maybe this year you might be the proud recipient of the awards and the rewards when we academic year I'm saying, not financially. Carry on.
Professor took up the cause of workers on the British owned plantations. However, the association failed to attain an all India character.
Underline that word all India character. Why is this pan India level is very important for these organizations? You understand pan India, na? Why is it so important?
So because it will unity. The main part is of unity. Because as was seen in the 1857 revolution, the lack of
Yes. Unite the people of all country and then fight a revolt. Make them come on one platform. How do you explain the word platform here? Although we are sitting inside one class, although we are sitting under one banner, but I know 90% of the brains are just thinking
having similar thoughts.
Similar thoughts. देखो बोलते हैं भैया watch देखो. It's okay. Students का I can't expect because already 3 hours done and more 3 hours with me. Then बोलेगा खत्म हमारा energy. But at least those people who willingly join an association, they are not like that. In fact, in nationalism, one topic is there in CBSE. We have a caricature. You know what is a caricature? Where people, club of thinkers karke caricature. It's a beautiful caricature. Where all the people are allowed to come in, but they are given a face mask to wear it. Nobody should bring your thoughts out. तो हमारा बच्चा भी इधर ऐसे आके बोलता है, मैं आके बैठ जाएगा, अटेंडेंस कंपलसरी है, मेरे से कुछ पूछना नहीं. We are club of thinkers. Action तू ही करते है ना? So let us not be like that. Carry on.
East India Association 1866. The East India Association was founded in London in 1866 by
Underline that.
Dadabhai Naoroji.
Dadabhai Naoroji. Did they not mention his name?
Yes.
Right, he comes there. And look at the photos only, उसका real pictures नहीं है. And then we call him as the grand old man of India. वो भी चल तो लिख के रखो. He was regard लिखना तुझे क्यों दर्द? As if he wants to become the next grand old man of India. Then अच्छा इधर 2-3 मिनट आपका थोड़ा relaxation भी हो जाएगा. We had a prime minister in our country. His name was Morarji Desai. Heard? Any idea who was he? He was the second, not second, I think. Second was Lal Bahadur Shastri. He was the third when Mrs. Indira Gandhi was lost in the election. That time he became the prime minister. 77-78. That is the time Congress lost. And I still remember, not me was born there. My dad say within one night, Morarji Desai banned all 1,000 currency. जो अभी Mr. Modi ने किया. And he said tomorrow morning, not even morning, tomorrow 12-1 हो जाएगा. तो 0-0-0 होता है. 0-0 होके अगर 1 second भी हुआ, anybody gives even 1,000 rupees, it will be for chana ka pudiya. Seriously, he banned it in single night. Although the government was there only for 3 years, but this man had tremendous influence. But then again, the lady of iron fist called Mrs. Indira Gandhi, sorry to use that word, she purchased many MLAs and MPs. And very quickly the government was toppled and this fellow was thrown out of the chair. But within that 3 years, he has done tremendous work. Even he lived until the age of 99 years, Morarji Desai. उसके पीछे और भी अलग-अलग रीजन है, वो आप लोग का पेरेंट्स से पूछो वो बताएंगे. But even he is like the grand old man of India, Dadabhai Naoroji. But his party was Janata Dal. He ruled for only 3 years. But within that 3 years, he has done tremendous good work. But Congress tha. Congress was so powerful that it can throw away anyone and everyone into the gutters of politics. Like yesterday only, our Raga has come up from the sleep. Anybody watch the statement?
The laughter.
Laughter वाला नहीं है, कुछ seriously भैया ने बोला है. देखते हैं अभी आगे जाके. We want Congress to pick up quickly and we want Congress to give a fight back to the BJP, which we are thinking. But ये leadership में अगर ऐसा cartoon बना रहेगा तो then we will help out. है ना? Let's see.
The association provided information on all Indian subjects to British citizens and members of parliament. It voiced the grievances of Indians and suggested remedial measures.
Oi. Yeah. Underline the word remedial measures. Next 5 minutes, I'm not going to teach. Put your head down and sleep.
Dadabhai Naoroji,
It's okay. I can say literally they are merciful eyes requesting to me, so you can sleep for a while. You are from Virar. मैंने इसलिए बोला क्योंकि many were already sleeping.
एक दिन पहले सीट से आके
पूरा लेक्चर में अभी पूरा एग्जाम में टेस्ट में मार्क्स नहीं मिला क्या 17 आउट ऑफ 40 पूरा लेक्चर में यू ट्विस्ट एंड टर्न एज इफ यू आर स्लीपिंग. Hey, listen. Besides your schools which are going to start, I have heard some schools are going to start the test or something after the first day.
Sir, they already started.
Are we with your SST portion I'm asking, are we at the right or beyond it? हो गया? मुझे क्लियर बता देना so that अगर कोई स्कूल जल्दी खुल रहा है और 1st June 2nd June I can try to pick up more pace. History we are ahead and then civics. तो मैंने यूनियन पार्लियामेंट खत्म कर दिया. So this is the second chapter of history. So what we can do silently that worksheet of the earlier items on okay. Worksheet of the earlier chapter better and start solving. What time? So 9 minutes. I get bored and you will also get bored. So start writing something so that you can ask me many things related to the question. Pick up.
Sir,
That would be allowed in my lecture. At least when I stop explaining.
Very last something.
I'm coming around to check all the models now. And notebooks also by next week, everyone must finish it. So everyone must have a fair history notebook with complete. Not today, next Monday. I give you 1 more week time. दिन दोनों का प्लास्टिक कौन काम करता है? दोनों ना? एटलीस्ट वो मेरे सामने आया बोलती है कि भाई मैं थोड़ा सा पढ़ाई करने का मूड में है इन दोनों का तो पता नहीं ये बेचारी हमेशा इसके पास विंडो ओपनिंग स्कीम की तरह देखती है और इसका विंडो में दुनिया भर का डाउट रहता है तो समझी ना नहीं समझी तो छोड़ मुझे भी नहीं बनती है I have a high this one. Oh, thank you. ओए एक दूसरे के ऊपर ये मत करो before the doubt solving booking whatever the on videos that you guys for all the subjects I'm saying please have a glance through anyone do nahi aata
नहीं sir.
तो then ask for the department they will send you मतलब if you want any particular chapter particular when you are remaining absent पहला अपना वीडियो चेक कर लो कौन सा so you check with your coordinator na she will help you and you will get particular date का link भेज देंगे WhatsApp का नंबर रहेगा ना हाँ I could see people seriously solving now. I'm turning around to see how many are not seriously sleeping. And next lecture, be prepared. I will be giving you notes. Correct? One lecture ऐसा तो दूसरा सुनो तो क्या? The most hardworking बच्चा है like this.
Sir, the question here is asked, why not on what grounds was our annex to the company's down?
It is that doctrine of lapse only, na?
Sir, but Alsh
अच्छा हाँ, I'm so sorry.
under subsidiary alliance first and then under Alsh.
As 2 points you can write. That also, no issues.
The pretext of Alsh.
Subsidiary alliance का नीचे भी है और Alsh के नीचे पहले subsidiary.
दोनों डाल दो ना, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Sorry, I'm also. When you are solving, don't talk. Just this Sunday, my subject is no test, is it?
Yesterday it was.
Which one? Nationalism. Acha, Union Parliament.
Very easy.
Then you will understand how easy. That will be of this chapter. First chapter of this. Second to आज ही तो start करेंगे. First chapter itself is big.
Powers.
दो लाइन लिखा बहुत.
Question of the powers के ऊपर qualification power speaker के ऊपर. दो मार्क के 4 थे. 3 मार्क का था.
I am planning to change some. Look, both are sitting in a pile. Smartly looking each other and talking. Continue.
Question 2 when they are
Why are you counting the time?
Sir, name the 2 acts that import the religion and customs of people.
Federal Marriage Act and abolition of
इसके बाद एक और
The session ID दिया है.
abolition of
बायोलॉजी संडे को लिखना है ना.
आएगा. इन लोग को मालूम है. इनसे पूछ लो. नहीं, in one day all the subjects will be there. Why only biology will be 3 years? All the teachers will be there in the respective room. आएगा. You will get all that professor on one day only. You can book the slots as per your time.
English, maths, social, Sanskrit.
आ गया ना?
So if we don't have any doubts at that moment, do we have to?
Then the other then अभी से कर लो ना फिर. Then you have to wait for 1 more month then extra. Math and science majority people book it. See, AHL sir is that your earlier sir only. He is also there ना. और कौन है SST में देखो. SST का ही है. He was our and और किस का नाम है उसमें? Only. नाम और मेरे साथ चेक कर रहे थे.
हाँ सर.
Wait. Nice name, man. I work with them, so I don't know. Yeah, I leave you for the break. We'll come back 12:45. Everyone be energetic. We will be writing. Yeah. Popping like that. What seeing this?